Let me see you singing. With your microphone.
This is the good life. Oh, oh, oh. This is the good life. Oh, oh, oh. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life. This is the good life. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
Good morning. We had a good morning today. My brother is the swim coach. My brother's the swim coach. And he's gone this week, and so I'm filling in for him. I love swim team. Love it, love it. I did it in high school. I coached all throughout high school. I had my own little group of 7 and 8 year olds that I loved coaching. Today, guess who's getting a haircut? Where's he at? Oh, Barkley!
Oh, I thought you meant me, and I'm like, I don't want.
Look at this raggedy muffin. Ruby looks pretty good. I didn't do her that long ago, but Barkley is looking rough. So we're gonna give him a little trim today. Are you ready, Barkley? Barkley's ready. While I'm giving him a bath, I wanted to give you guys a little update on the housing situation. Ella's eating her breakfast. The school gives these things out and it's like a sausage in a pancake. It sounds disgusting to me, but the kids really like it. I haven't tried it. Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. A couple days ago, we got word that the buyer wanted to back out of buying our house. It came after the inspection, but we're thinking that he had to have found something else, because we said we were gonna fix everything that was like a safety issue. Anyway, so we didn't see a real reason that he would back out. And his realtor said, yeah, that works for him. He just hadn't signed the paper yet. And so I even think she thought he was gonna be fine with it. But anyway, so our house is back on the market. The day we put it back on the market, we had like 4 other showings, 3. One of them rescheduled. So we had 3 other showings. So we're still hopeful, but that kind of put a wrench in it. I'm not gonna lie, when our realtor called us, Kyle's sister, and told us, I really just wanted to be like, fine, we're not moving then. I'm over it, I'm done. But here we are. We're gonna keep trucking away and do the thing. Pretty crazy story. My mom's dog got out during fireworks. So as you saw in the 4th of July vlog, we went out to the county to do fireworks. So my mom has 2 dogs, 2 white dogs, and we have Barkley and Ruby. And there must have been this hole in the corner. We need to really enforce that, because I think the dogs got out there. And we came home and our dogs, Barkley was home, and then one of my mom's dogs was home. But our neighbors were bringing Ruby back, our poodle, and my mom's dog was nowhere. And it was like 10 o'clock at night, and so we all go yelling her name, Zoe, through the whole town of Holbrook, through the whole neighborhood, and just nothing. We weren't seeing her anywhere. There wasn't even any dogs out. Like there were some cats out and stuff, but there was just nothing. So the next morning we woke up and we decided we were gonna make some posters and post it on Facebook. So we posted it on Facebook, and we found out from other neighbors that were home that a group of girls came walking around asking if anybody had a dog named Zoe. And because it was my parents' dog, nobody knew that her name was Zoe, so they just said no. And they asked this group of girls asked like every house on our street, but we weren't home. We, after fireworks, we stayed and chatted a little bit, and we didn't hurry our way home. So we find after Facebook, nobody knew who the girls were. We couldn't figure out who those girls were, and nobody recognized them. So we finally got on Facebook, and after I posted like the missing signs on Facebook, a mom of one of the girls messaged me and said, hey, I'm pretty sure that was my daughter, and we don't have the dog, but I'll have her get in contact with you. So then this girl messaged me, and they like had a video of Zoe, like she got out of my parents' yard and then hung out with those girls through the whole fireworks. Like I don't know if they did a TikTok or a Snapchat of Zoe just hanging out with them. And then she said that after they had asked all the neighbors, they thought it might have been our dog because they know that we have Barkley. And so they were waiting for us to get home, and another couple came up and just kind of took her. And you know, they're kids, so if an adult comes up, they just let them take her. So we're looking, so this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday now. So we've been getting hints from other people, and oh, the lady had a pink shirt on, and oh, this is what her hair looked like, you know, and da da da. So we're finally getting all these pieces of information, and I have a friend call me, and she says, you know what, that description, because I had asked around, like, does this, you know, does this description of this couple sound like anybody that you know? And so she texted me back and she said, yeah, that sounds like so-and-so down the street. You should go check it out. So we went over to their house, and I didn't even talk to them. Their daughter was there, and she was like, we've been looking all over for your dog, and we were actually just about to go back out and look for some more. And so I told her the description of the people, and she said, you know what? That sounds like those people that live on this street in these houses. So you should go down there, and you should, I don't know which house they live in, but I would go down there and I would check over there. So we went over there. It was like two streets behind our house. And so we went over there, and me and my mom started looking at one side. Like we started at one end of the trailers, and then my dad went to the other side. And they said they had a certain kind of dogs already, and so we should look for those dogs. And so we finally went over there. My dad started on one side, and me and my mom were knocking on doors on the other side, and nobody was answering for me and my mom. Nobody was home, cars weren't there. And there's only, I don't know, 10 of these little trailers. And so my dad goes over and he sees those kind of dogs in this little backyard, and the fence isn't very high, it's kind of short. And oh, I didn't get Barkley's face very good. I wasn't really paying attention. So my dad sees these dogs, and he's looking back there, and he kind of thinks that he heard Zoe's bark. So he's just standing there. He hasn't opened, you know, he hasn't rang the doorbell or talked to anybody. He's just kind of standing there, and the dogs notice him, and the other dogs start barking. So then he goes to the front yard, and he kind of hangs out there for a little bit. The Jambu's all gone. He kind of hangs out there for a little bit, and finally a man comes out because he heard his dogs barking, and my dad said, hey, we're looking for a little white dog. Have you seen a little white dog? And he goes, oh yeah, she's inside. What? We've been looking for this dog for all night, all day, and she was 2 streets behind us, like exactly like on the corner behind us. And so the guy goes in, and he said that the girls had the dog, but they kept letting her like get down and run around. And there were a lot of cars around because fireworks had just ended, and so people were trying to, you know, leave. So there were cars everywhere, and they didn't want the dog to get ran over. So they picked her up. And the lady walked out, the wife walked out, and it was totally that lady. She was even wearing the same color shirt they said that she was wearing yesterday, her hair in a ponytail. Like, it was the exact same lady. So it was crazy how all these little tips all day long, like, got us to talk to the right people, and we finally found the people that had her. And it was so emotional for my mom. She had been so sad all day long, and when we found Zoe, she just cried and hugged her and cried and hugged her, and it was crazy. It was a crazy, crazy day. And I'm so glad that we found her. Poor Barkley is looking rough now. Look. He's all wet. Now we're gonna blow dry him. Probably brush him a little bit and shave him, getting a haircut.
I touched them.
You touched him, is he wet?
Yeah.
Ooh, he is wet.
It is wet.
There's several things you can do. Since I've made no points of over the volume, let's make it about like that. Now, that's not the over volume.
All right, he does need a little bit more blow dried on his face, but look at this fluff monster. We're about to chop it all off, Barkley.
Not giving them away, right?
I'm glad. Check out all that hair. I think Barkley lost about 5 pounds. Which is probably a good thing because he's a little chunky. He's a little junker dunker. Let's find him. Where'd he go?
Broccoli.
Barkley! I don't know where he went. He's like, that lady's giving me another bath. I don't want that lady. I don't know where he went. You know what? He's probably rolling in poo. You look so good. You feel better? I am definitely not a professional groomer, but cutting them yourself saves about $70. So that's what I do.
This is the good life. Oh, 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 oh. This is the good life. Oh, 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 oh. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life. This is the good life.